Okay, the first film that we're going to look at, or the first application rather, is an application called Comic Life. It's a really easy way of combining words and pictures in a really child-friendly way, and certainly extremely accessible for children as well. First thing you need to do is open the application. Now you'll find most of your applications in the dock, and as you bring the mouse pointer down, the dock will spring up, and you can see here it is, Comic Life. If we take that out and imagine it isn't there, I can show you how to put things in there. If you click on the hard drive icon and go to applications, and you'll see all the different applications you've got, and you'll find again we've got Comic Life. Now I've decided I want to use it a lot, so I want to have it in the dock so I don't have to go through these steps again. So I can just drag it down, and I'll put it next to my other filmmaking programs. And there it is. The other option, if you can't find an application, if you click on the little magnifying glass and start typing, so if I start typing Comic Life, you'll see very soon it finds it. You can actually click on it there and open it. But once you've got your dock organised, just pull the mouse pointer down to the bottom, the dock will bounce up, and you can click on Comic Life. Now, Comic Life opens and it's very, very straightforward to use. You can, if you want, decide to use a template. There's loads to choose from, different types from different periods, or you can build your own. So let's just pick something like manga, for example, and you can find a layout that suits you, and you just pick it up and you drag and you drop it. If you don't like it, you can start amending it, so you can change the sizes. If you decide you don't want that page after all, you can click on it, and you can either delete the individual boxes, or you can just go there, up to page, and delete page. So we're back to where we started. Another way of doing it is just to build your own template, and you can do that just by dragging panels. You'll see when the mouse pointer goes over the panel it turns to a hand, and that means you can drag and drop it. So I've decided I really only want a couple of images on each page, so you can get the proportions that you like, feels about right, and then you can start to get some pictures. Doing a book called Help, which is about a plumber, so I've got a picture of some pipes. I just drag it in and you see it hops in. Now at the moment my panel is bigger than my picture, but I can just drag my picture out to fill it, or I can resize the box to be the same, whatever you want to do. If I decide I don't like it, at any point I can delete it. If I decide I've made a mistake and want to go back, I can just press Command Z. It will take me back one step. Let's explain a little bit more about where you find the photos. You've got different options. So if I go to this little dialog box and click on Events, it's like having photo albums, particular events or activities. And say for example, I want to find my event with funny pictures of people. I can click on that, and you'll see that these photos come up and I can pick them. It may be that I've got a folder of pictures and I haven't put them in iPhoto yet. If I click Finder, I can just go and follow different routes. So I can go to my username, I can go to Documents, and I can look at different things until I locate something I want. So here's the bid images I used to try and bid for the money for this project, and again you can start dragging them and dropping them in. If you decide you want to take a picture of yourself, you can press Capture, and at the moment I press Freeze, that's created a still frame that I can then add to the topic, but I can assure you that's not what I do want. So let's go back to iPhoto. So how do we assemble the different elements of a comic? Let's start by picking some of the pictures. I don't really want a white background, so I'm going to go for something that's got a little bit of colour. I don't want anything bright and leery, so I think I'm just going to go for the metal. And that just gives me a slight gradient, which is a bit better. And I'm going to start with a single image, and I want it to be broadly centered. So I just drag it around, but it looks a bit all too square and neat and tidy, so I'm just going to tip it slightly using that link handle. Okay, at this point I'm going to select an image. So here's a picture of me where I've overlaid the features of someone else on my face. I'm going to drag it in. You can see at the moment it's smaller than the frame, but I can just drag it out. Okay, that looks about right. If I now click off it, hopefully the two images will have joined or linked. So if I drag the frame, it also drags the picture. Right, I've decided I want to add something to that. I realise it's not me actually, it's someone else, but never mind. I want to put some text at the bottom. So I just drag the box here and I can start to type. And I can say something like, we are starting to learn how to use Comic Life. Now it looks a bit small to me, so I can highlight the text and I can make it bigger and the box will grow. If I want to change the shape of the box, I can. If I double click in there, it will highlight the text and I can make it bigger. And you can do different things with the format as well. So if we go to the text, we could decide to have it centered if we wanted, or whatever we feel is best. And I might put some thought bubbles in. Again, when it turns to a hand, it means you can drag and drop it. And if I drag the little blue button, I can have the thoughts coming out of my head. I want the speech bubble a bit bigger, so I can stretch it one way, stretch it the other, double click in it, I can start to type. I could be saying, I wonder how hard it is to use. Okay, and maybe I can finish with a speech bubble. I am supremely confident that I can make a comic. Okay, again I'm not very happy with the size, so I can sort of drag the speech bubble out. I can move it a little bit and stretch the arrow. I can make the text bigger by either clicking on the bigger button there or pressing Command Shift plus. I can do that again. Command Shift plus. And the last thing I want, I think I'm going to put a banner heading on. So I'll just drag that thought bubble slightly out of the way, and I'll go down to lettering. And I'll add that. So what am I going to say? I'm going to call this Comic Life. And I'm going to place the lettering. And you can see it's appeared up here. And I can make that bigger. Don't really like the lettering style, so I can go up to here and pick something else. You can see there's loads of different funky ones to choose. Literally loads. And I'm going to go for scribble, like that. Make it slightly bigger. Okay, so I've made my page. Doesn't take very long, and it's very, very straightforward and easy to use. I've got lots of different choices now. Makes sense to save it. So I can give it a name. So Comic Life Demo. And I can choose where to put that. If this little box isn't checked, suddenly it doesn't look like I've got any choices. But if I click that, I can see lots of different places to put it. And this is all part of the new media project, so I'm going to click on that and I'm going to save it in there. I've got other options though. I could print it, I could email it, or I could send it to iWork.